Happy holidays, everyone. I'm Mark Janes. It's our first installment, our first opportunity to take a trip to Beech Grove City Hall. Well, actually, we're here at Beech Grove High School in the BGTV studios, but we're pleased to have with us the Honorable Mayor of the great city of Beech Grove, Dennis Buckley. First of all, happy holidays. Welcome. How are you?
I'm doing very well, Mark. It's good to be here this morning.
We're taping this on the morning of the 16th, and a little bit of snowfall kind of gnarled the traffic up a little bit this morning. We've dealt with quite a bit of snow since Thanksgiving, in fact. How's the city set for the budget in terms of salt and sand? You probably used a lot of it already.
We're doing very well. The folks out of DPW have performed very well. Our equipment is working well. We've added a couple of trucks and salt spreaders. We have more salt spreaders now than we've ever had. Very pleased with how they've worked. The roads are clear. We pre-salt now, and things are going well.
Yeah, it's changed a lot over the years in terms of pre-salting and pre-treating roads. It's been very, very beneficial, and as technology increases and improves, we're sure that the efforts to remove snow and ice from the roadways will improve. Well, over the weekend, I had an opportunity to attend It's a Wonderful Life, a radio play, the Spotlight Theater, and before that, I've had a chance to peruse the downtown area. I got to give the efforts on Main Street, at least from my limited knowledge of how things work, I got to give it an A+, Mayor. I know it was a long and arduous process, a very expensive process, but boy, now that it's pretty well all done, it looks really nice.
It is beautiful. I'm so happy because what it's done for our city. I'm happy as the mayor that it was done, but I live 2 blocks from Main Street, so as a private citizen, I'm very, very happy that it's done. It was hard. I apologized more than once to the people who live down there and do business down there because it hurt them. But I'm not sorry that I did it. And you know, I've often thought if I had to do it all over again, I'd do it again. It means that much to the city. So, well, and we've done well.
From an economic development standpoint, it's huge because that's what people see when they drive through downtown Beech Grove.
We have been the recipient of about 12, maybe 13 new businesses on Main Street. Plus, we have new businesses in the industrial park. So it's just, there's been a snowball effect since the roads have been reopened, and I'm really, really happy about it.
Well, you're not done down there. Let's talk a little bit about this Main Street zoning overlay proposal that you have on your desk.
Well, what I'm interested in doing with the Department of Metropolitan Development sometime in 2014 is to consider doing what they call a zoning overlay on Main Street. And what that does, that's basically from Emerson Avenue to 13th Street. And what it will do, it will allow our local government to control what types of businesses goes in there. What I mean by that is, if somebody wanted to open up a adult lingerie shop or adult entertainment store, as it sits right now, I would probably not have any authority to stop it. If we do zoning overlay, then that would give the city control as to what goes in down. We're not trying to control what goes in down as far as legitimate business. We're trying to keep it professional and keep professional businesses coming in there. I don't think the city needs adult entertainment. I don't think the city needs adult lingerie. Those types of shops, we don't need that here. And what the zoning overlay will do will help us prevent that.
Can we call it like a covenant and restriction in a platted subdivision?
Sure.
Something along those lines?
Sure. And also, there's talk about controlling paint and awnings and window displays. You know, some areas do that, I'm open to those suggestions. I'm not sure I would entertain them or administer them, but I'm open to that discussion.
Well, this is not an uncommon zoning proposal, because there are many cities and towns, including right here in the state of Indiana. They regulate how big the sign can be, how bright a sign can be, where billboards can and can't be placed. And again, all of that is done to create a sense of uniformity, but more importantly, it's designed to protect those who've already invested in your downtown.
That's true, and I think it would look so much nicer if it was uniform like that. But that's quite a ways away, Mark. I'm 2 years into being mayor, and I'm still digging out from the previous 8 years. So I'm taking baby steps, but it's coming around. And doing zoning overlay on Main Street is one of the things that I would like to do. And I would also like to be open to, there's residential housing from 8th Street to 13th Street. I would be open to having in those areas mixed use. You see in some areas where houses are purchased and they're turned into offices or turned into bed and breakfast or turned into something. I would be open to that as well.
Well, let's talk a little bit about some of the infrastructure with the city. We talked about the Main Street project, but a huge focus of late on sanitary sewer repairs. You did 3 projects in 2013, a couple of storm water projects as well. What's on the books for 2014?
Well, we're going to start probably in January. Our paving continues. We have done about almost $650,000 worth of paving in the last year and a half. So this will be the 3rd round paving. We're going to focus on 2 roads this spring. We're going to focus on Royal Road and Bell Fountain. Bell Fountain from Emerson West to 9th Avenue. Those are 2 of, we have several bad roads in Beach Grove, but those are 2 of the worst. So we're going to work on those. We finally, one of the things that a lot of people don't realize that's been corrected is we have now properly budgeted so that these things can occur every year. So we fixed that problem, and that's really good for the city because it doesn't matter who the mayor is.
Sure.
If you leave that item in the budget, then every year you can focus on doing roads, and eventually you'll get caught up, and then you can put your roads on a maintenance program. So we're looking forward to doing that. We have another 3 or 4 big sanitary sewer projects that we're going to do in 2014. One of them is in the area of 8th, between 8th and 9th, just north of Churchman Avenue. These are projects that should have been done 10 years ago. They haven't been done, and so we're going to do it. We're going to fix it. And the worst thing that could possibly happen is to have your sewer back up, and we don't want that, but we have to maintain our systems.
Now, we might want to mention to folks that this time of year, the asphalt plants have shut down. However, later in the week, again, we're shooting this on December the 16th, temperatures are supposed to warm just a little bit, and when that happens, we find out where some of those flaws are in the pavement and potholes start to pop up. There is a cold mix, a cold patch that they make this time of the year the street department can use, but there won't be any paving projects until well into the spring.
No, we won't pave again until May. They'll open the plants back up in April or May, and we'll start back in May. But there's about a 90-day preparation period before you can pave. You have to award bids and bid it out, and that's just part of the process.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the creation of a compliance officer. You're looking for someone to handle your fire prevention and compliance to make sure what buildings and different areas around the city are up to code?
Well, in the budget for 2014, there is a position that was created. It's for compliance, and it's a mixed position. Part of the position is fire prevention, where they would go out and do fire inspections of businesses, and then compliance. And a lot of the compliance that we're going to do is environmental. Whereas we can go out and inspect properties, the outside of properties, for environmental conditions, trash, weeds, and then we can issue citations to the property owners and get some of these homes cleaned up.
You plan to be more aggressive with that in 2014?
We would like to start the process of inspecting these properties just on the outside. And I'm not going to allow inspections of inside of residential properties. I'm not going to do that.
Right.
The inspector will have to view the property from either the street or the sidewalk. But this is something that the city needs to do. We needed to do it a long time ago, and we haven't done it. We just need to clean up. There's some properties out there that we need to clean up. We utilize the Marion County Health Department quite a bit. And I think if people have seen the reports that are generated by the health department, it's staggering the amount of time that they spend in Beech Grove on environmental issues. And this is just another way to help clean up our neighborhoods.
Well, you can get back to the fire inspection portion of that. Can I assume that making sure businesses are in compliance ties in with the overall fire rating of a city for those businesses and can actually have a positive impact on your insurance for your businesses and your homes?
Oh, I think so. The number of times we inspect, are the building suppression systems actually working? Are they even on? I remember back when I used to do fire inspections, I would find them turned off. So that wasn't any good, but it's something we need to do. And we're going to do it next year. And I had the same problem when I was fire chief. It was really hard getting inspections done because you were so busy doing other things. So this is a good move by the city.
Some grant programs you're taking a look at to maybe improve not only sidewalks throughout the city and provide a little safer to and fro for the little ones getting to schools in the area, but also another grant could perhaps improve some of the signage that we have around the city of Beech Grove.
We applied for funding through the federal government. It was actually through an organization called the Metropolitan Planning Organization. And we received approval to partake in what they call the sign inventory and replacement program. It's a federal program, and by the end of 2015, all of your street signs, street name signs, stop signs, any sign you have on a street has to meet a certain reflectivity. And if it doesn't meet that standard, it has to be replaced. So the city received $600,000 for this program. We have to have 10% match. So probably beginning in July of 2014, this program will start. And it will completely change how the city looks. If you look at the signs on Main Street, how nice they are, it's the same type of sign. So what we're going to do, what this will do, this will allow us to remove some signs, but it will allow us to change every sign and have uniformity, and it'll look so much cleaner. And we've been so blessed because we applied for another grant called Safe Routes to Schools. And this is the one that the superintendent and the school is excited about, because there is a grant program that the federal government endorses that hunts for schools that don't necessarily have sidewalks in front of the school, and they'll give money to the local city and to install sidewalks. Well, we applied for that grant as well, and we received it. So that grant is in the amount of about $400,000. So by this time next year, we will have new sidewalks in front of South Grove Intermediate School that will run on the west side of 9th Street from the Little League Diamonds all the way to Rotherham Lane.
Oh, wow.
and then across South Grove, across the street into South Grove Intermediate School. We'll have new sidewalks at the middle school on Detroit and in the area along the softball diamonds. And then I think the one that everybody's excited about the most is out here behind the high school. Kids who walk from the apartment complexes across the street, they cross Churchman Avenue and they're walking in the street. And I know the 2 years that I've been mayor, the superintendent has voiced concerns from the day one of me being mayor about how unsafe it is back there.
Right.
So we just had to come up with a way to fund it, and here we are. I mean, by this time next year, I think there'll be sidewalks back there to where these kids can get on the sidewalk instead of navigating through the street. So, you know, that is so good for this city.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about it. I'm happy about it because I'm mayor, but, you know, I live here. It makes the city better.
Well, as you make your way through downtown, you work your way outward. There is something that I'm sure your administration does not want to see become a bit of an albatross, and that's the St. Francis Hospital complex. Regardless of what you do elsewhere in the area of economic development, you don't want to see that facility continue to just sit there. So I'm sure everyone wants to know. They've heard rumors get started. Let's put all of those to bed.
Sure.
To the best of your knowledge, you as mayor of the city of Beech Grove, what is in the long-term plans for the Beech Grove property, and when can some activity be expected to be seen, if any, on that property?
Well, they closed the facility 3 months into me being mayor. And it wasn't a surprise that they were going to close the facility. They said 5 years ago they would close it. But when they closed it, that didn't make it any easier. There was quite a bit of resentment from a lot of the people who lived around here because they have an emotional attachment to that building. I have been in contact, I stay in contact with the folks at Franciscan Alliance, especially those up in Mishawaka, Indiana, and that is where the home office is. There is movement on the hospital. You'll notice that they've put a fence up recently. The building to the east, which is called Alverno, that is their communication center for the Alliance. That building is going to stay. They've had, you'll notice more cars are there. Some of the people have been transferred down to this facility. And that generates, and a lot of people don't realize this, but generates about $30 million in revenue in central Indiana. So that's, even though they don't pay taxes, that is important for us as a city.
Now, people are going to hear that and say, wait a minute, 30 million, they don't pay taxes? Explain to people why.
Well, payroll taxes, payroll, and spending money, living in this area, so that helps. What do I think will happen with the hospital? If I had to say today, I think they'll tear it down. And maybe that's the best thing. When they closed the facility, you know, there was talks about remodeling it, rehabbing it for senior living and shops and all this. I don't see that happening. I see Franciscan Alliance continuing to be part of this city. I've had no official confirmation that they're going to do this. This is my speculation based on a couple of things. So I think personally that they'll knock it down and they'll clean it up, and then it will be redeveloped commercially.
Is that something the city might be involved in jointly with the Franciscan Alliance, is marketing that property?
No, I don't think the city will be involved in it. I think Franciscan Alliance will aggressively get it redeveloped.
It becomes a valuable piece of property if it's flat.
Yes, it's 14 acres of prime real estate.
Yeah.
And they know that. And so I think at the end of the day, I think something will be built there that will be very pleasing to the people of Beech Grove, and especially the people who live around that area. I put a group of people together, and we have a little committee that of the people that live around in that area to keep them informed of what's going on. They're the ones who are most affected by it because they look out their window and see it every day. And the folks at Franciscan Alliance and the city knows that we can't continue to go down this road. Something needs to happen because the longer that stays vacant like that, the worse it gets.
If they do demolish the facility and they do want to market it, commercial, retail, whatever the case may be, is the city prepared or able to offer some sort of a tax abatement as an economic development incentive?
The property is in a TIF district.
Okay.
So the property
You might explain what that is for people that don't know.
it's a tax increment finance district, and so it's under the control of the Redevelopment Commission. So the Redevelopment Commission would have a say in sitting down with those folks as far as what goes there and any reconstruction. And maybe there could be TIF bonds or other types of financing. And I'm certainly not opposed to approaching my friend Mayor Ballard in Indianapolis to talk about working with Develop Indy to entice people to come to Beech Grove.
You have to.
Yes.
It's a necessity. It's competitive.
I've done it twice already, and I'm getting ready to do it again with Kinetrix Energy. So that's just how it goes. I mean, either I snooze or I lose. I mean, you know, I have to do it. I mean, and I'm no different than any other city. They would do the same thing.
Well, this allows us to take our next step in the show before we get ready to wrap things up for this program. Talk a little bit about that. It's been a pretty good year for new business in Beech Grove, and you expect 2014 to perhaps be even better.
Yeah. You know, I never thought that when I became mayor, you always fall back on what you feel your strong points are. And obviously, I felt more comfortable in dealing with fire department and police department, public safety matters. I never thought how I would like economic development. And I really didn't know very much about it, but I really like it a lot. It's fun going out and selling the city. Nobody ever did it.
Right.
I mean, we've had 8 years of nothing. Nobody knew who Beech Grove was. So I would approach businesses and they'd look at you like, wow, we're sitting here talking to the mayor of Beech Grove about our business coming to Beech Grove. You know, that's unheard of. Well, that's terrible. It's been a great year. 2012 was really, really good, but 2013 was better. And I said a little while ago, we've had 12 or 13 new businesses on Main Street. We've had 3 or 4 businesses within the last 2 months locate into the industrial park, which is east of Emerson Avenue. We've had Lamping User, which is a local heating contractor, move over onto Bell Fountain. A company called Industrial Paint Coating. They're out on Park Emerson. That is a huge, huge investment for the city. And within the last 2 weeks, we've become homes to Klosterman's Bakery. Their distribution center is now in the city of Beech Grove.
That's outstanding.
And I can't tell you how good that is for the city. You know, and we're working with ADM Milling, Archer Daniel Milling. They're building a new mill on Bethel Avenue. It's $30 million investment for the city of Beech Grove. The president of the company called me and told me that they were going to build a new mill in Beech Grove. We were in competition with Chicago, St. Louis, Camp Hill, Pennsylvania, and there was one other city that escapes me. And they chose Beech Grove. And the reason they chose Beech Grove was because they've been here since '82. They love Beech Grove. It's a small community. The cost of living here isn't as high as it is in the other places. So anyway, they're investing $30 million in this city. And I can't tell you how much that is going to help the city of Beech Grove City Schools, the library, within the next 3 or 4 years. It's going to be staggering, the amount of money that's going to come into this city. Plus, this year, I was with the governor and Mayor Ballard a couple months ago. We were out at Citizens Energy's LNG plant on the north side. They have an LNG plant right behind us, liquefied natural gas. They store natural gas. They're converting that into natural gas to fuel vehicles.
Right.
So the city of Beech Grove is going to be the recipient of $14 million investment from a subsidiary of Citizens Energy called Connectrix Energy. Connectrix Energy is a for-profit entity, so that money will go on the tax, or that property will go on the tax rolls and further help the city of Beech Grove City Schools and the library. So in about 3 to 4 years, it's really, really going to be good to live here, because the school is going to be able to do more things, hire more people, and make it better for the kids that go here. The city is going to be able to invest more money in police, fire, and infrastructure. And the library is going to finally have some new revenue that they can work with to make it better.
Yeah, to take the show full circle, what it boils down to, folks, is that with the redevelopment of Main Street, everything that's happened on Main Street, with the sidewalks being put in next to our schools, with the new signage being put up all around town, the new sanitary sewer projects, all of those things, those all send a clear message to businesses who are looking, perhaps, who are already here or looking at coming here. That sends a clear message that Beech Grove is taking care of its infrastructure.
The message to business is that we are open for business. They see it and they want to invest here. Within the next month, we'll have a groundbreaking for a Waffle House. And I've had, I think in the last week, 1 or 2 restaurants that are interested in locating in Beech Grove. One of them is on Main Street. So I don't like to talk too much about it because it's early, but I just think it's so good for this city. I mean, you know, I'm just happy.
Well, good. We appreciate the opportunity to spend some time with you. Folks, we're going to start doing this on at least a bi-weekly basis, having Mayor Buckley in here. We'll have him bring some department heads in from time to time. Mayor, if people want to get a hold of you, if they have a question, concern, whatever, give them an idea. They seem to find you, but in case they can't, maybe they're new to the area,
That's
how do
all
they
right.
get a hold of Mayor at City Hall?
They could call me directly at 803-9111, or they can call me at, or email me at dennis.buckley@beechgrove.com.
And if you have a question for the next time we do this show, you might email that question to the mayor. He'll share it with me, and we'll put that question on the show. Hey, happy holidays to you.
And to you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Mayor Dennis Buckley. We want to thank Wiley Kraft, our producer of our show, production assistant from Beech Grove High School senior Malcolm Larry. I'm Mark James for Mayor Dennis Buckley. Happy holidays, everyone.